want to give you something different, kind of make you guys laugh a little bit. Just give it a different perspective. Some of your questions answered live and in living color. It's time to free yourself. We are not going into 2021 with all of this bouffant light.
She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it. She make it clap, clap, clap. 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 She make it clap. Riding around town with that strap on my lap. Ooh, yeah. She make it clap. I'm tryna grab it and then hit from the back. Tell her drop it down, cause I like that. After I hit, then I be right back. I'm walking the club and whip out the rack. I'm blowing on gas, she doing her dance. She making it clap, I might have a heart attack. I walk in the club and I'm making it rain with no stacks. She drop it to the ground, she know that it fat. I run through that sack when I thump through the racks. I whip her that dope, but I'm fresh out the
Jeffy girl, hey stranger,
hey. I hit from the back, walk in the club and I thump through the racks. She make it clap.
Y'all come on in, come on in.
Clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it, yeah. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap.
You can hit that like button on your way in.
She make it clap, clap, clap.
We're gonna have a little conversation tonight. We're gonna keep this short. Thank you. Thank you. Hey. I'm gonna have to hit that one more time. I gotta hit it one more time. One more time.
Soldier. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it. She make it clap, clap, clap. 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 She make it.
All right, y'all.
She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap.
Hey, Pap, how you doing, lady?
Clap, clap. Ooh, she make it clap. Riding around town with that strap on my lap. Ooh, yeah. She make it clap.
Y'all listen. I've been like chilling out on TikTok for the last few days. And I don't know if y'all know about this chandelier thing, but I've been watching folks swinging from the chandelier for the last few days. And Sister Girl is dizzy. You hear me? Let me, child. If anybody knows about the chandelier, let me see if you know about the chandelier. I ain't gonna. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. Hold up.
Okay, so this is
hold up. They got all these guys on here swinging from the chandelier. Hold on, let me turn this down. So I'm starting to think that TikTok it's like the it got some thought action going on. It got some thought action going on. And I'm enjoying it. But I guess it's the guy's way of showing off, what they got, Let me try to find one of the good ones here. Okay. I'm not going to put it close. I'm going to just play it back here. Hold up. They got somebody else on it. Hold up. Hold on. These people, they just showing off. They are just... I need a good one. Wait a minute, he not rolling because he in his uniform. Okay, you off beat, baby. Yeah, Pat, they showing off. Oh, he off. Let me get another one. Polo thing. He off beat. Wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta test it first. Wait a minute. Hold on. No. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. So what's happening is so these guys coming on here with these jogging pants. You don't know the jogging pants story. So let me just. So all of them swinging from the chandelier. You know, they all swinging from the chandelier. That's all I'm saying. So it's a thing. You know, it's a thing. So they're getting up here swinging from the chandeliers and right, Jersey girl. APZ, hey, I'm single. I can say that now. So they all swinging from the chandelier. I saved a couple of them. Let me hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh, the light. That light is just blocking. Y'all go to TikTok, put in this for the women. Y'all men don't go looking for this. Well, you got females doing it too, but yeah, go to TikTok and you're gonna see chandelier challenge pop all up. I didn't look for it myself. I mean, it just popped up. And yeah. They were swinging from the chandelier. Hey, Trevor. How you doing? Yeah. Y'all remember when they had the jogging pants thing like last year before last, something like that? Well, it's back. Right, Jersey. It just happened. I didn't go looking for it, but every time I went on TikTok, like they swinging on the chandelier.
He gonna swing from the chandelier. He can already swing from it. And probably throw it up there, wrap it around, and hang and swing from the chandelier already. He gonna swing from the chandelier. He can already swing from it.
Hey, child. So when you hear this song playing, okay. They have to start off with they swinging. Okay, let me get to business because I'll be TikToking all night. Okay. They swinging. So the first thing is getting to the topic. the hypocrisy of it all. And like I said, I'm going to do this real quick. Been on social media, mainly Instagram, y'all. Like, y'all think YouTube is a mess? Go on Instagram. Instagram runs circles around YouTube. You hear me? Let me tell you something. Jersey girl. Let me keep on pushing. Let me get back on track. But they got some mess going on. Just y'all. You know, a lot of people comment on how, you know, people say stuff over here and then they go and do the opposite. It's not just on YouTube, y'all. I promise it's not just on YouTube. Let me tell you. I'm just going to touch on a couple of things that I saw. And I'm like, you know what? I'm so tired of us. I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay. So you got Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie was performing somewhere. Y'all know the rapper Lil Boosie. He's performing somewhere. While he's up on stage, a young lady goes and gropes him. He gives her a pass the first time. Okay? Before I continue this story, let me make sure we all on the same page with this hypocrisy. Hypocrisy means that you are talking out of both sides of your mouth, right? You okay with this being done over here? You're not okay with this being done over here. Like, you got this internal conflict that's going on, and you just a hypocrite. Okay, so you got the young lady that's she touched Lil Boosie on the chest, rubbed him down. You know, Lil Boosie kept on performing, doing whatever he was doing. Sister girl went back. She was like, oh, well, he didn't do nothing the first time. Let me do it again. And she goes and rubs him down again. Starts from the middle of his chest, rubs down towards his midsection. This time, Lil Boosie pulls the mic away from his mouth and tells her, don't touch him again. Okay, let's talk about it. So in the chat, of course, this was in the shade room. In the chat, you have, I need y'all to catch this now. Catch this. You had females, us, saying, well, he allows other people to do it. He let people at another show do it. So why can't she do it? So you got the males coming out in the comments saying, wait a minute. Y'all not going to come on here and act like it's okay for her to go and grope him. And the minute he going to put his hands on her, you calling Me Too and everybody else. Come on, y'all. These women went to bat for this girl. Now, don't get me wrong. There were some women that were saying, listen, the man said, don't touch him. Stop thinking that it's okay for you to just go running up on people. But it was women that sat up there and defended this other young lady. All I'm saying is, we got to keep that same energy. We got to keep that same energy. So if you don't want somebody to come rubbing up on you, touching you, fondling you, without your permission, without your consent, then when in the sand hill did it become okay, just because we are females, when did it become okay for us to go and start groping on folks? I didn't get that phone call. I missed that phone call. So when did that become okay? He wrong. That's his fan. I don't give a rat's butt if that was his number one fan. If it is not okay for a male to walk up to her and do it, then she does not. He let you slide the first time. Hold up. The light gives too much of a reflection on him from Instagram. He let her slide the first time. Once he let you slide the first time, hey Cherry, how you doing? Once he let you slide the first time, here you go, like the little Grinch. And you got to go and rub them again. But this time she kind of did it in slow motion. That joker pulled that mic away and said, please don't touch me. Don't touch me. And people like, oh my gosh, that was so embarrassing. Embarrassing for who? So I'm calling the females out on this one because y'all know. We know. We know we get men hemmed up in all kinds of mess now. If that man would have touched that girl in that audience, that would have been on TMZ, MTV, BET, ABC, PBS, every channel you could think, it would have been on there. And somebody would have been asking for some money. That's all I'm saying. But I'm going to keep on moving past that. Just hypocritical is what I'm saying. Just hypocritical. Now I'm going to go back to something that happened, that I saw today. Saw something where there's this Instagram model. I think she's a Fenty influencer or something. Somebody goes, records her, says that she's pretty. She see that they're recording her. Another female, some rapper female that does some work with Blueface, and she goes up to the girl, slaps the phone out her hand, and tries to step on the girl's phone. And people are saying that's okay because allegedly they said that the girl that did it has cancer. Okay. Well, she was diagnosed with cancer in 2019. Okay, so people are saying that it was okay for her to go and basically assault this other female because she was recording her. They said that it was okay. But the minute the young lady wanted to fight her for assaulting her, now she's in the wrong because the girl that did it allegedly has cancer. The point that the young lady made, I don't know if her name is Christian or whatever, but she said basically if she was well enough to come up and slap my phone out my hand and stomp on it or whatever, and like she wanted to bust a move and she was out there drunk, then I don't want to hear anything about her being sick. That's basically what she said, because she was well enough to do that out there with without a mask and all this stuff, and people jumped on her and said that she was wrong. Let's get back to the hypocrisy of it all. Free thinker, hey, let's be realistic about some stuff, because it seems like when we get on social media, we just lose all sense of reality or whatever when we get on here. Like we just lose our darn minds up in here, up in here. At what point? First off, whether you are sick or not, you don't have any business knocking anybody's phone out of their hand. Period. Point blank. There's no in between on that one. That's it. Second of all, when you're in public and you are a public figure, you can't stop people from recording you in public. Even if you're not a public figure. Aside from assaulting them, you can't stop people from recording you in public. If they take a picture, they take a picture. You can't go and assault somebody. Or let's try doing this the adult way. I really don't feel like being recorded right now. You know, that sounds too much like right. Let me move on. People tripping. How is that okay? Don't get me wrong, because I don't want anybody saying, oh, Dr. Rogers saying, oh, this sick. It's not about anybody being sick or anything like that, but it gets to a certain point that it's grown people. And if you're being realistic with yourself, if somebody did that to you, you wouldn't care what they had going on. It'd be a mother flipping problem. It'd be some furniture moving. You'll be ready to rectify somebody's situation real quick. But whenever we get on social media, people get this whole new perspective on things when it comes to stuff that happens to other people. Now, when it happens to them, then it's a different story. But whenever they're speaking on stuff that happens to other people, then the hypocrisy of it all. Okay, they lost all sense of reality. We got to act like we got some sense. They're doing a whole lot of right now. That's all I'm saying. Yo, listen. Where's my time at? 21. Wendy Williams. Now, y'all know I spoke on her before, but I was speaking on her alleged substance use. Now, I look at that because that's what I do. I find it interesting. Hey, James, how you doing? I find it interesting that she can come at anybody, any type of way that she chooses. And people laugh it off. Oh, that's her job. That's her job. Listen. If she is able to come at people a certain way, then people should be able to come back at her a certain way. They can claim that as their job as well. Right? For the longest, she has been putting information out about people's families, their relationships, what's going on in their homes, but she wasn't as upfront with her stuff until it got to the point where she really didn't have a choice. So my thing is, we got to keep that same energy. So the other day she had Jocelyn. She had Jocelyn Hernandez. Y'all know, Love and Hip Hop. Had her on the, what used to be Love and Hip Hop. Y'all know Miss Hernandez, she ain't got time for all this mess. So I'm going to let y'all see a part of this. Now, people wanted to call her grimy, messy, ratchet. I ain't saying she ain't ratchet. Now, don't get me wrong. But my thing is, if you can dish it, then you got to be able to take it. And for people to start going after her, after Jocelyn said, oh, she's wrong. That's Wendy's show. She should have gave Wendy a chance to come after her first. How much sense does that make? She should have gave Wendy a chance to come after her first. Wendy shaded her from the very beginning. And I'm going to let y'all hear the shade from the very beginning. And Miss Hernandez was not here. No, let me take that back. She was here for it that day. But the hypocrisy from the people, the comments, and I'm like, are we in the real world? Are we in the, like, you feel like you're in the Twilight Zone sometimes? Like y'all really said, let me, child, let me just give me 1 second, child. Just.
For some reason, I wouldn't recognize you if I saw you. You look different every time I see you.
Shade.
In a good way.
Shade.
Hopefully it's in a good way,
yes,
Miss Wendy. Because, you know, Miss Wendy, I just must say this to you first. I hope you're going to give me my flowers today. I hope you're going to honor how much work I've put out there. I hope you're going to, you know, not kind of like throw this off outside of everything that I've done. I'm an accomplished woman. And I just feel like every time I come to your show, you don't give me those flowers now, you know? And you're 35 years my senior.
Wow. Yeah.
I should get those flowers by you. I should feel.
Yeah, it was shade.
I should feel wanted by people like you. Not just me, all the other young girls.
You are wanted by me. I always say that you're very entertaining.
Okay, I'm gonna press pause for a second. Okay, because Jocelyn did shade her right there, but Wendy shaded her first. You look different every time I see you. I don't know how you're gonna look. Wendy, you look different every time we see you. We don't know how you're gonna look. Like, when you come at a female with a comment like that, never mind the fact that Jocelyn was supposed to be on her show before, her and Stevie J, and Jocelyn showed up. Stevie J wasn't there, so Wendy didn't allow her to be on the show by herself, and then she kind of shaded her a little bit. Jocelyn was the one that came up here and she stood up for herself. She stood up for herself, and people were like, no, she was wrong. She let Wendy know, look, I didn't come to kiki and caca with you. I didn't come to fake it with you. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel. And I think that this was real. Now, I'm going to play a little bit more, but the comments from it.
And we feel like you be trying us. We feel like you don't be really rooting for us. You know, we feel like, and especially with me, every time I come to your show, you always want to compare me to another broad. I don't need to be compared. I've made my own brand. I've made my own brand for years. You know, I've been out here for the past decade. I got my own show. I franchised my own show to another network. I have the #1 show in the country.
I know. No, you have the #1 show on Zeus, and you got renewed for a third season, which is to be commended.
The #1 show in the country is Wendy.
It's okay.
And I just want you to know that. I want you to know how I feel. I want you to know that I feel like every time I come on here,
you feel undervalued. Well, so do I. Okay, that's it. You know what, Jocelyn? Because you're part of pop culture, this is what I do. But if you possibly think that I leave here every day and don't feel undervalued for something that I do, you know, as a woman, we're not going to even talk about race. Just as a woman, I still don't make that dollar for dollar men make. So please, anyway, shoe cam, please. Let me see your shoes.
All right,
but stop, Jocelyn.
I'm making pretty cool money. I own my own show, so you should be doing the same thing. But as a woman to woman, and this is not about men, woman to woman, we should uphold each other higher, not go against each other or compare woman to other woman when every.
Now I'm gonna pause this right here for a second, because what she is saying. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Hey. What she is saying on here is true, because what Wendy does, she does come after women of color. She absolutely does. And she tends to praise women of the other persuasion. She absolutely does that. And my thing is, for Jocelyn, this was a perfect opportunity and she took it. She got her information out there about her show, but she was not down for the buffoonery. You know, it was a win-win for both of them. Wendy got the ratings from her show because people wanted to see, you know, the stuff that happened between her and Jocelyn. And Jocelyn got the ratings for her new show, her cabaret. What is it? Cabaret? Show that she has going on. So it was a win-win. The comments, though, that's what I'm saying. The comments. Here, if you want to come on, let me see if I can hold on, let me see. The comments that were coming from the people in the different chats and stuff like that, I'm like, I don't think they understand what's going on. But either way, number one, Wendy already knew. Jocelyn said it. She said, I told your producers knew exactly how I felt before they got me on here. Whenever Wendy was like, can we cut her off? They were like, no, we're going to keep on running, because they knew it made for good ratings. But the people in the comments, everybody in the comments, not everybody, let me not say that. A lot of people in the comments were going after Jocelyn. That's what people tend to do. They tend to go with the person that they favor the most, whoever, you know, is the person that they like. They're not going with actual JoJo. Hold on. How you doing?
I'm still learning.
We all are. What's good
That's
with
right.
you?
You know what? You give us a good commentary on this, but you know this shit is orchestrated. Doc, come on now, stop playing.
Go ahead with it.
You know this is orchestrated. This is Hollywood. This is what they
Of
do.
course.
They go behind the screen. You don't think they screen these interviews before they even come out there? It's all about ratings.
Of course they do.
You know, we looking at these things, and I always say this when I go on One Pap channel. I said, do we understand what we looking at? And you know, that's a broad statement. But for me to get into it and break it down on different dynamics, it has to be a need to know basis. Like on
Mm-hmm.
this particular thing, that you know they set this up. It's all about, you said it before I came on here. It's all about ratings.
Right.
So controversy sells. I mean, we done heard that, and we know that's what it is. If you're not gonna come on there and just give some positive and you know how y'all women can get. But you know, it has to be controversy because that drives the rating. Why? Because you talking about it right now. You see how it works?
Absolutely.
Don't
But
get
see,
quiet on
my
me
thing
now.
is, it's not so much with them. I'm looking at the people in the comments not understanding. Like you
Well,
want to
see,
jump on one side, but not you, but you want to jump on one side. Okay, Wendy's a bigger person, you know, money wise and career wise.
so
So it makes
let me
her right, just based
okay,
on
let me
people's perception.
okay, let me ask you this then. What does that tell you about us as a people?
Be a
See, because
mess.
it's the bigger scope of things. Exactly. And
That's my
particularly,
point. That's
and
my point. That's what this
particularly,
whole show is about. The hypocrisy of
it's
us.
hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy all around us. All
Yeah,
around us. I don't care where you look at it from, what angle you looking at it from. It's hypocrisy, hypocrisy, hypocrisy.
all day.
Everywhere you look at it. This is what they do to us. Because I say this all the time. If you can confuse people, you can dominate them.
Say
And
so.
you know, the few oddballs that can look at this with a critical eye and an objective eye, they get ostracized. They don't look at them, oh, that's a conspiracist. He don't, you know, for you to come on here, if you was to point out all the hypocrisy in this and really break it down and show it for as the comments, see, because you went to the comments, and that's where it starts. You have to grab the people. You grab the people, they don't care, because the few oddballs that can see it is the majority rules. So that's why they're able to propagate these things and keep us like sheep. We sheeps. I say it
God
all the
no.
time. We just follow. We just follow. That's pop culture, what we looking at.
That's
Whatever's
that herd
hot.
mentality.
Yeah, exactly. So they promoted each other right under our eyes and made it look
They
like,
sure did.
oh, she ain't supposed to say that. Oh, she ain't supposed to say that. But at the same time, they sitting back having tea and coffee with each other. You see how it works? I'm waiting on that panel you said you were gonna put together. I'm still waiting on that panel. And you
I'm
know,
still trying to bring it back. You know, I had to take a little
I ain't
break. I
gonna
had to
let you
take a little
just
break.
bash these. I'm not gonna let you just bash these men out here. You know.
Ho, 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 ho. We did not bash the men. We can have a
It's
conversation.
not.
Hold on.
It's not so. It's not even so much a bashing the men. You know. You had. It was one sided. It was about 3 or 4 months ago. I said okay.
When I had my
You know, I've
homeboy
been
on here.
licking. Yeah, I'm sitting back licking my chops. I said I can't wait for this. It's right up my alley. Hmm. But I
I
think
mean,
that
what
happened right
conversation
before.
we
I think
talking
that
about
happened right
hypocrisy?
before you got sick. I think that happened right before you got
It was
sick.
2 days before I got sick. It sure was.
Absolutely. See, I remember shit. I got all this shit in chronological order up here. I said I
What
gotta make I gotta make an appearance over here.
what
What'd you say?
specifically did you want to touch on?
It's nothing in specific, but it
Uh,
was just you had an interesting conversation going on, and it was, y'all was kind of one sided because I seen a lot of females now. I'm like, oh, okay, and they was telling all they sides of what men don't do and what kind of men they want. But see, in that aspect, you saying what you want, do you know how to obtain that man? Because see,
mm,
you can't be running around here saying girl, 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 girl this and think you gonna get that kind of man.
mm,
It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that because see, that's a spirit that dwelling in you.
mm-hmm. Do
So
tell.
when I say I'm not gonna give it all up. See, this is gonna be
I'm
encouraging
listening.
for
You know
you.
I'm listening.
This is gonna be encouraging for you to put the panel together. Say, yeah, you ain't finna get it all from me. I'm gonna give you kibbles and bits. Yeah, that's how that works. We need
Listen,
something to get away from this everyday monotony that we're going through. This stuff is driving me crazy.
you absolutely right. You are
And it's
absolutely
more to
right.
life than that. This situation gonna iron itself out. And what God has, can nobody change that. So we're gonna keep it moving.
Ooh, you better say it. So tell
It,
me
it,
what you think about this while I got you on here. Then tell me what you think about this.
about what? This what you just showed?
No. I'm still on Wendy, but I
Okay.
want you to tell me it's another situation where the rapper Safari, he has a wife, Erica Mena. They got a child together. Now she has another baby. Um, on the way, Wendy Williams came and she started talking about, made some comments about Erica, basically saying that the lady was trying to have another baby to keep her husband and was telling them they need to just go ahead and get a divorce and whatever. So Erica came back and she was like, you know what, Wendy, come holler at me so we can have a discussion. She said, and I'm gonna beat your behind because clearly your husband didn't do a good enough job. What are your
Wow.
thoughts on this?
Well, I'm not an advocate of violence, but everybody's business is nobody's business. Again,
Mm.
she's in the business of doing this. When you become a public figure like that, you have to look for that. It comes with the territory. So at that point, as Safari being the male and the head of that household, he should have grabbed her. See, again, you got to look at the agenda because it puts light on both of them.
So my
But if
thing
that,
is when Erica came back and made her comments towards Wendy, then the consensus was that Erica was wrong
yeah,
because
that's
she
how they're gonna
came
do it. Everybody, the second person, it's always the person that passed the second lick get caught. That's an
right,
old cliche saying.
right.
But nobody sees the initial attack, so they say.
Mm.
But in this arena, yeah, they know exactly because it's orchestrated. It's orchestrated, but that's an old saying. Nobody sees the first initial attack or lick being passed. So that's how that works. But see,
Right.
they're in the entertainment business. They can't sit up there and talk about everything positive. That's not gonna sell. They'll be off the air within 6 months. They got to sell. They have to make that thing juicy. So no pun intended, make
I
it
think
juicy. But anyway,
my thing, you do your job, but if you're gonna throw shade on other people's house, then you can't get
you
upset when
have to
somebody gets
respect
bad.
it.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it seems like since you want to go to, it seems like she get more offended. Like I'm off limits. I can speak about you, but you can't speak about
Yes,
me. Like you in a glass
yes.
house, lady.
That hypocrisy.
The hypocrisy. I said this whole country is derived on hypocrisy. Just look around. That's all you have to do. Look around.
Every
Not
day.
to even name no names. This is every day. This is a culture. This is a culture that we propagate and we nurture it. America
Mm.
nurture that culture. It nurtures that culture.
You telling the
So this
truth.
thing, it is what it is. See, I can see. straight through it. I can see straight through it. But it entertains people, and we're in a era that we like to be entertained instead of educated. So,
Mm.
there we have it.
That's a word right there. We like to be entertained instead of educated.
Yeah, because see, it nurtures that. It nurtures foolishness. This culture nurtures foolishness. And when I say culture, I'm talking about American culture. I'm not just talking about black culture.
Right,
I'm talking
right.
about American culture.
All the way around.
We are the king. If you look at it, America is top at what? Entertaining. They're kings at entertaining. What China is the king at what? Technology. Look at how it works. They tell you right in your face, but we don't understand what we're looking at. So it's not like they lying to us. They telling us right in our face. And all you have to do is look at what's surrounding you. What's surrounding you? What's popular around you? That's what I mean by pop culture. Popular
Right.
culture. Entertainment. They're the kings of it. You don't see Chinamen making, I mean, the Chinese making movies and we going to the box office and blowing that movie up, making millions and millions of dollars. No, they're technology driven.
That's true.
So they have tapped into that and they know exactly how to fool us. And this is not a black or white thing, people. It's all about knowing what people like.
Come on. You talking about people in marketing? I mean, even when it comes down to something
Absolutely.
simple as, knowing what type of commercials to play during the Super Bowl, what kind of commercials gonna make
Exactly.
somebody salivate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's
Exactly.
that crucial.
It,
Yes.
it is. It is. It is because it becomes to the point that it becomes mental. Because if you keep looking at, and I don't know how people diet is at this point, you keep looking at a hamburger commercial all day, you're gonna go want that hamburger
Come
because they
on.
don't.
Your mouth start
It's
watering.
absolutely. I just want to go try. You remember the chicken sandwich? How they played us? I never ran out and got that chicken sandwich from
That Popeye
Popeyes.
chicken.
That's
Yeah.
you see how it works.
Hmm.
They study us. We study each other.
But we don't study good enough though. We
Well,
still got
hey,
some work to
because
do.
we not studying the right things.
That's it.
We just study each other. And particularly with black people, we just study each other. We don't. They study everything. They will
Right.
go to the bottom of an ocean and see the smallest grain of salt or sand, rather, and figure out how to use it. That's what they do. And I hate to say it, but it is what it is. I keep saying that black folks are losers. And when I say that, I'm not talking about no individual. I'm talking about collectively.
We got a
Because
lot
we
of work to
complain
do.
we complain about it every day, but don't know what we complaining about.
Right.
But what we do, we point fingers because that's the easy thing. They taught us to do that. Point fingers. Point fingers. But you don't know who you pointing at. But really, you should start with that one in the mirror. But see,
Mm.
we took that away from you.
So basically, you're saying that we've been taught to not accept accountability.
Absolutely.
Ooh. And we rolling with it too.
Oh shit, we buy into it wholesale.
All day.
Well, that's
Oh.
unpopular. I can't come on here and keep teaching this because they don't want to hear that. But if I come over here and talk about the next blogger, that's what they want to hear.
You better say so.
I mean, I can shit light the
You better
room up
say
with that
so.
because that's too easy for me to do. That's too
You
easy for
better
me to do
say so.
because I understand that person on the side of me being the next blogger because what? He's the same, what? He had the same nationality or whatever you want to call it. And I understand our people. It's hip hip hooray when I say that.
Oh, Jojo,
They
somebody just joined. I'm trying to see who it is. Who is
you
JS?
breaking up. You breaking up on me. What you say?
Somebody else just joined. Is that James Swain?
Oh, okay. I don't see him. I can't hear him yet. You got him on mute? Is he on mute?
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
Well, you probably got all kind of secret ass shit you got to do to get in here. Screening and shit. You got screening and
Oh,
shit
you know
going
what? He
on.
is on mute. Hold up. He might have. He muted his own mic, I think. Oh, they muted the
Yeah,
mic.
yeah. He have to look down at them functions and tap on it and you'll be all right.
Okay. Now continue on with what you were saying.
Oh, we was talking about a multitude of things. It's just not no one thing because if we're gonna conquer one thing, we could stay on it until people get satisfied and get the answer they want. Because like I tell people, don't believe nothing I'm saying. Look it up. All you have to do is pay attention to what your surroundings is, and your surroundings. It's not so much as a physical thing. It's mental. It's
Mm,
what you surround your mind around.
that's true.
Oh, okay. You want to?
James, is that
I think
you?
I can hear him now.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we got two men on here. Well, let's go.
What's up,
How are
James?
you?
I don't know. I think he having some problem with his mic. Can you hear me, Doc?
Yeah, I hear you.
You know I call you Cairo now.
What, Sarah?
No, Cairo. No, see, it's a club here, and it's called Carolina.
Uh,
And I just made that joke.
Cairo, I like that. I'm gonna have to steal
And
that.
that's what we call a club. We call it Cairo.
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear
I
you.
I can hear you.
I think we got him.
I'm fine.
James,
Let
can
me
you
see.
can you hear
Okay.
JoJo?
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear now.
Okay, so we on this hypocrisy thing and our perception of how we see things and how we handle
My
things.
I don't
Oh,
know,
we lost
Cairo.
him.
I was gonna say, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think he having trouble with his mic. But I think
Probably so.
the conversation where you were going with it, I think is one that definitely needs to be had. And what you were saying about the stuff with like stuff really not pushing unless it's like, coming after people. Like I agree with
Yeah.
that. Okay, he's back. He got his let's see if we can get him back now. James, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
So it's you and JoJo on here.
Okay. Again, my internet was going in and out. What's the topic again?
We're basically talking about hypocrisy. Just in general, like we got a lot of people. It's like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Like you don't know what direct. For me, up is down, down is up, right is left. Like that's kind of what it looks like to me. Like we completely headed in the wrong direction.
It's absolutely. You're absolutely correct. I mean, it's really upside down. I just if I look at everything as a whole, I was looking at this thing and it was a podcast the other day, and and these group of white folks were interviewing each other,
and they were trying to identify where they were from. You know, like if they were their culture, if they were Irish or British or wherever they was from besides America, they didn't really look at color. And so they would ask each other, you know, what is your culture or your tradition? And they would say Italian or British or Irish or whatever. But when they came to America, they had to give up their culture or their tradition and become white.
Right.
So once they was in America, they had to be white. They was no longer Irish or Russian or German. They gave up their whole ethnicity just to become white once you enter America. So to me, that's, you know, it's a sign of things going upside down because they're looking at themselves. Because anywhere else in the world, they would be, you know, not looking at color, but just their culture or tradition.
Mm.
But when they're in America, you know, they could just walk into a bank and get a home just because they white. They don't need a job. They can get a $100,000 loan. So, I mean, as far as us, as far as blacks, we are definitely turned upside down. I think one of my greatest fears as a black man being here in New York is that, you know, the connection, you know, I want to make a connection with the brothers and the sisters. But as I look around, so many of us have been tampered with, you know, with the law infiltrated upon our churches. And that worries me as far as like the corporation I've started or, you know, my 501c3 corporation. And my title book, you know, where do I begin to trust my own people? Like that's like the biggest, how do I identify people that's have not been tampered with by the government, who's willing to injure or harm their own brothers and sisters of black men, people of color. So is you know, and I've never been hesitant, you know what I mean? I just never been a hesitant brother, you know what I mean? But I'm really looking at things differently.
That's deep.
You know what's interesting about what you said? I was on Carl Nelson's show, and Professor Small said it was an African American came from, I think, Uganda, and they made him change his identity to white American, and he's been fighting it for like 7 years at this point. Yeah, this is
Mm,
real. I mean, he's blacker than you know, a black Crayola. But
right.
you have to ask yourself why. See, we got to get down to the functional level. I always tell people, I deal with it from a functional sense, because when you deal with things from emotions, you're never gonna be right. You're never. It's gonna lead you into a frenzy. It's gonna have you emotionally driven towards thinking about the situation that you're encountering. But if you deal with it from a functional level, meaning like how it's put together, you can kind of grasp and have a full understanding on what they're doing and how they're doing it. But I found that interesting that you brought that up, and I see it's not just happening. It didn't just happen to him. So as a people, we need to understand this. I mean, we need think tanks. We need all kind of different things to combat this system, because it's a system. I keep saying it. It's a system. It's not so much of something that's propagated and it's just out here. They've put this thing together because then again, I said before, they study. They study. And who are they? It's whoever is in control. I keep telling people white supremacy is not no white man riding around in a beat up pickup truck calling you nigga. That's not white supremacy.
No.
And we're looking at the laws and saying this shouldn't be right. They shouldn't do him like that. But first of all, this is what black people have to put in their head. We do not have a code. A code is nothing secret. I want people to understand this. It's nothing like we getting together and coming up with some secret something saying. No, a code is an act of behavior when we encounter anything.
Wait. We do have a code now. We have a switch code. You know what I mean? So
Okay, do expand on that. What do you mean by switch code?
we have a switch code, like, we home, like, yo, what's going on? I'm with it.
Well,
Doc, what you up to? You with it? And then as soon as we get to working, wait, hold on. Then as soon as we get to work in the morning, we go, hey there, Nancy, how you doing? Yeah, I've been good. How was your weekend? Oh, I went hiking. Oh, that's great.
That is code switching. That is code switching.
That's a code. That is code switching. But see,
niggas got that code switching.
See, but I'm thinking on a code, a universal code, like every black person at one voice have this code embedded in them, like it's just instilled in them. Like, I'm gonna give you an example, and it's been shown over and over and over ad infinitum. When a law enforcement pull you over, what's the first thing come to that black person? And they've shown it, and they've been showing it. Why you pulling me over? Why you pulling me over? I know my rights. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But it's not the time to argue what your rights is. Look at the climate that you're in. You've been, in my mind, at that point, I've been captive. I'm behind enemy lines. It's the only code that's coming to my head is comply. I can argue my case later. All this, I'm not going to do this, I know my rights. 9 times out of 10, it shows you it's going to end up wrong. They've been showing you this. And then what we going to do? Go get some candles and teddy bears and visual light candles. I might as well open me a factory with candles, teddy bears, and balloons, because it keeps happening over and over. When is it going to sink into our psyche? That's what I mean by we're not codified. We're not codified. Because when you get pulled over.
Quick, JoJo, something that James said, and I think what you're saying and what he's saying, it can come together. One of the things that he said that kind of struck me was he said he has a business and he's not comfortable, or he doesn't know, like, if he can trust one of his people to assist him with that business, if that could be the person that he count on, that would be due to a lack of a particular type of code. Would you think?
Right.
I will believe in that, but you see, again, you have to deal with it from the functional sense. Why does James feel like that? See, let's get down to why. It's all about why. That's the most important question. Why?
Well, the answer to the why is it goes to the church, to the backbone of our foundation. The woman is the backbone. The church is the backbone. So many times, historically speaking, the woman had to stand in the front, just to get that bill paid, and the man had to sort of, hide in the back or the church is the foundation. They talk about the green book when we had to travel from north to south or south to north, or however we had to travel. Some of us would use this sort of green book. But when I was little, we didn't use a green book. We used the church. So we went from Rochester, and we was trying to get to Alabama. The whole church had it already painted out. So when we got to Buffalo, we logged at Sister So-and-so house, used the bathroom, gassed up. From Buffalo, we made it to Ohio. We would stop at a congregation in Ohio and log up and gas up. Then we'd go down to Kentucky, pass over to Memphis, Tennessee, and get on down the road. Now, the foundation is that the problem is that, okay, the church. So everybody in the church, right? They praying, they catching the Holy Ghost, they doing the James Brown split, they shouting and screaming in the front row. But the preacher won't tell them that the church ain't in the building no more. Everybody got to lead the church. You got to go out there and you got to bring those social justice to the family back together. You got to bring the father back to the home. You got to bring the mother back to the home. You got to pick out the two good seeds. You got to start rearing from that. So until the church make a decision that they're going to let go of the chief of police hand and the mayor hand and stop kissing the council, the city council, and get out there where the business is, you may not be able to get it because that's our foundation. So that's all we got left. You know what I mean? Because everybody else been compromised. They've been compromised by the crack era, the drug era. And some of us, even though those eras are over for some of us, we still playing the crack game, the dope game on each other. We still lying, cheating, and stealing just to be scheming to get a profit. But the foundation of who we are is the church. And what preacher got the nerve to tell a congregation in the morning, listen, y'all, I anoint every last one of you, every 500 of you. And we going down there on that block, you know, they've been selling that dope, killing everybody, raping, maiming, everybody going out there. All y'all anointed as preachers today. We got to get out the building.
Let me ask you this. See, because identifying a problem is one thing. Collectively, by you identifying that problem and understand those different variables in it, what do you suggest as a people we do about it? Because it comes down to the doing.
Well, I'm a solution person.
Exactly.
And I rather find a solution than to find an argument. I'd rather find a way to solve the matter than to get into a fight.
Well,
I just like to solve.
That's what I'm asking you. What would you suggest as a solution?
My solution for every Black America that could trace your roots, like I could trace my roots all the way back to Mississippi, and then my grandparents and all that, and great grandparents, and how they came over here from the West Indies, and then they didn't even know if they could. They didn't even know who they was, so they was calling themselves Indian people. I'm from Indian. They was trying to describe they was from the West Indies and brought over here by the boat. They just kept saying Indian, and everybody just started calling themselves Indians. But who knows, right? That's a mix of interpretation. My solution is that this is not going to get no better. The system is not going to get no better. So my solution is that every Black America should burn this mother down, burn the whole system now, tear it up tear it up. That's my solution.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna touch that. I'm gonna let you have that, sis.
The burning down of the system, those ideas are not reflective of Carolina.
No, they're not. They're not hers.
You know what? From what I gather, what he's saying, K-Ro, he's talking about the infrastructure. What I mean by the system, and we know when we thinking about it logically, that's not going to be done because before you even light a match, they will blow your head off.
Now, it ain't them blowing my head off that concern me. It's my brothers and sisters that believe in that crap. They believe in that code switching. They gonna blow my head off faster than the white man. I ain't worried about the white man because he came out smart.
It's not so much the white man. This is what I be saying.
You know why I have to say the white man? Because the white man represents the system. Let me say this one bit, and then I'm gonna let you say it. I'm sorry. The white man is the only man, heterosexual man, that does not have to change his voice, that does not have to change his accent. It could stay one way. And that's the systematical problem. that we are facing is that I can't feel comfortable. Can I feel comfortable walking down the street without being stopped? Can I
See,
drive without being harassed? You know what
again,
I mean?
again. See, you dealing with isolated situation. Again, this is what I'm trying to say. This thing, when you speak the way you speak, I get it. I understand your passion behind it. But again, when I say we don't have a code of behavior, just imagine. And I want you to close your eyes, and you don't probably have to close your eyes, but just mentally think about this. If black people as a whole, and I'm gonna deal with us at this point, stop doing anything that's non-constructive. I mean globally. Globally. If it's not non-constructive, we not doing it. Do you know that would rid that system immediately? Because their system is built and put together about what works. We could tell them, in other words, we can have them go out here and do anything we want them to do because it's shown in the past. All they do is retwink it every now and then. They have us doing they bids unbeknownst to our understanding. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's a system. It's a system. Black people, in order to rid that system, you have a code of behavior, thought, speech, and
No,
action.
no,
Thought,
and the
thought.
and
Hold, wait a minute, brother.
it,
Let me finish. Let me finish. It's thought, speech, and action. It's what you think about, it's what you say, and it's the action. What you think about, you shouldn't be putting poison thoughts in your head. I mean, this is a hard pill to swallow. The action part, what are you gonna do about it? Because there's no sense of even coming up with solution if you don't have no problem solving creation in your mind on how you gonna deal with it. And the
well,
action,
I
what are
mean,
you gonna do? What are you gonna
okay,
do?
So hold
Because
on,
see,
guys. So hold on. So we're at the point now where this has completely gone, and it is a think tank. So that's what we said we needed. So that's where we are.
well,
exactly.
if you look at it, if you look at it the way you're presenting it, right, and you already talking about actions, and then the doc mentioned a think tank, but you have to, in order for your question to be resolved, you will have to first come to the understanding that this is not even real.
But it
The
wasn't a
system
question.
that
It was not a question. See, that's the thing. We have to identify exactly what we're saying. Words are very important. And this system is
oh,
derived on words. The court system is derived on words. So when you said that, I'm sorry I had to correct you, it was not what you labeled it as. It wasn't. It wasn't. I have to correct
what
you
did I
on that. And
label
I'm
it
duty
as?
bound to do that. Okay, well that's better because see you gotta be very careful with words because words are very important. This system is put together
Okay,
with words.
okay, all right. So let me try to say it just as simple as I can. This system is designed behind the Wizard of Oz, right? The Wizard of Oz, if you look it up, is sort of the same as our political system. It is a made up system. It's not even real. We are in a system that cannot survive. And we are striving to achieve master's degrees and doctor's degrees, and we're trying to stay out of jail. We're trying to keep our name clean, keep our record clean. And at the end of the day, while we're trying to do all that, we done found ourselves to be 80 years old. All I'm saying is that it ain't real. It ain't real.
I said
It is
that.
a made up system that's gonna fail. It's gonna
I've been
burn.
saying
The
that. That's
fearful
exactly what
part
I've
of
been saying. But will we be around when it burns? See, this is the thing. Everybody's saying it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Do you know before your great grandfather, your great 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 grandfather, they were saying the same thing. See, we like to sit back and say, oh, this is going to end one day. And we like to go grab that great, awesome Bible. That's what I call when you're using the Bible as your pit bull. What are you doing? God says this, but what are you doing to make a change? Because it starts with the individual. Stop looking for some great leader to come around and say, hey, all of y'all, follow me. It starts with the individual. And this is what these people know. They understand that. That's what I mean. They are on code. They don't have to go tell the next person of their ethnicity what to do because they have a code. All they do is follow code. They learn this by the
It's a white.
time they learn this by the time they're 7 or 8 years old. It's called osmosis. They pick it up from what they're being taught. So they understand the
But
code by the time they become 15, 16, 17, going into these universities. They stay on code. Black people do not have a code. This is what I'm trying to convey over. So when you say we need to do, no, it starts with the individual. It's the individual. We have to do this one by one. And when I say one by one, it means the mindset. It starts with the mindset. We don't have a
So,
code.
Jojo, how do you get to the point where you can even tap into that individual mindset to affect change of the
Just by,
individual?
just by conversations like this. Because see, if we're able to if we can galvanize a lot of people to think about some nonsense, we should be able to galvanize people for change, real change. And the ones that don't want it, they just stay where they at because many are called, few are chosen. But if you can strike the mind of one, that one is going to keep passing it down. That's how it works. But see, we just been caught up again. We are followers. We are herd. We have that herd mentality. So
I,
whatever,
I
what?
have to.
Go ahead, sir.
I don't like the terminology of where hers, but I would like to move you into the future rather than that we concentrate on the past destruction. And if I could move you into the future, then we'll be moving into a global economy,
Okay,
and
so
we'll
what
be
does that
pushing
consist of?
towards.
Now, wait a minute, see, because I'm not going to let you make these broad statements. We're just having a think tank here. When you say you
Right,
don't
it's
like,
just a think tank,
all I'm
but I'm a,
doing, wait a minute. I'm gonna let you continue because I have to interject at certain points. What what model do you have that's different from what I said and what's being shown? What model?
well,
We got to have a model.
well,
A model.
I well, the model is the research over the time period of Ronald Reagan is just used as an example, and that model could be pushed back as far as you like, or push it as forward as you like. You could push that, you could use that as your mark to push around. But that is, and I'm gonna use New York for an example, and we led the way in this. And when Ronald Reagan called a war on drugs, the judicial spending went up over 3,000%. Criminal justice went up over 1,500% as far as funding that they received. Billions and billions of dollars the police department and the justice and the criminal justice department receive yearly, annually to fight this so-called war on drugs. Who was their target? Their targets was years
You
old.
asking
So when
you
they talking
asking me?
about defund the police, they need to defund the police because the police been paid billions and billions of dollars to hunt us down and to put us in our children in the educational school system where they sort of train us from the pipeline from
Hold on,
school to
James.
prison.
Hold on 1 second. Because I do want to say now, just because of the topic that we're having right now, you said that you wanted to focus on the future. But when you go back and you start,
right, I did, but he wanted me to top on that part. He was saying that that we were followers or herds, that we was followers. And I don't like to say that we was followers, not when we being entrapped. You know what I mean? Not when somebody is setting us up. Not when they could throw up.
I only
hold on. See, you might be used to entrapment.
It's not
hold
so
on.
much.
Let me interject on that real quick.
Wait, hold on, Jojo. Hold on.
Let me put a little woman spin on this for a minute, because her mentality is actually something that I stand on, because we see it daily. And as far as the entrapment goes, I feel like a lot of the entrapment is entrapment of the mind. Just like I feel like right now when it comes to people being enslaved, that enslavement is also of the mind. Some people are slaves in their minds. So I'm at the point, like right now we're doing like a think tank thing. I'm one of those people, and I may be someone that people, like, oh, you think there's rainbow, like whatever. But I'm one of those people that I'm not, like how you said that you don't know who you can trust to do whatever. I'm one of those people where, I feel like I can do it myself. I don't think that there's anybody that can stop me. I don't feel like I have there's a ceiling there for me. And maybe that's foolish thinking. But in my mind, entrapment is mental for me.
Exactly. Dr. Roger.
Right.
The non-trust factor stems from somewhere. See, again, I say I deal with it from a functional sense. And when you said, far as law enforcement, you said how to stop them from killing us. Let me ask this question: what is the major component becoming a law enforcement? It's benefits, right? Would everybody agree with that? Everybody has in what they do is something that's going to benefit them, right? Right? Are we in agreement with that? Everybody does things.
I can tell you for me. I can tell you for me going into law enforcement, I got into it to affect change.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
That's the benefit for me.
And that's it. See, that goes back to what I'm saying. The few oddballs. Now, again, let me say this on that. Let me go somewhere with this, sir, please. All means. And then I'm going to let you interject and you can have the flow. I said that earlier. I said the few oddballs that understands it, they're going to what? Push us to the side. Now, collectively, when you said you make a change through law enforcement and just whatever you said on that, because it went over my head, but I understand and I put this seed in my mind. You know how you affect the change when it comes to an effort for law enforcement? You take away something that they're doing it for. Because collectively, all of them are not thinking like Dr. Rogers just said, making change.
No, they're not.
You go to them and say, look, we're going to take away your benefits. If we get any situation that's going to hamper you from your pension, anything that you in this law enforcement for, this career, so to speak, you take that away from them. When you take something that people want away from them, they have a tendency. It's like a baby. You take something from them, they're going to cry. And they're not going to do it. This is called learned behavior. When you
they're going to rebel.
They will conform. They will conform.
Joe. Yes, so check this out, right? So about 30 years ago, and I ain't trying to give up my age.
Go ahead, 25. Give it up, James. Give it up.
well, you just did. I ain't trying to give up my age, but you just did, because it's 30 years ago, and you encountering something. I can do the math.
So I was all right. So about 20 something.
Yeah, that part. Okay.
20 something years. All right. So I'm sitting around in a sort of a brunch and I'm in there with governors and senators and lawyers and congressmen, and we're all having dinner and we're sitting around the table. And some detective recruiters was like, I love this young man. He said, all you got to do is meet me in my office first thing in the morning, and we'll get you situated. And I want you to be a detective. And you know what? I looked at him and said, hell to the no, hell no. And they all looked at me at the table like shocked, like, why? I said, because when y'all get your ass kicked, I ain't gonna be there to help you.
Oh.
Well, you know, I get that and I understand that, because see, I mean, for me to answer that, probably I would have took that opportunity, because it is a chance for you to get in there to understand the system. Even though you feel like you understand it, but you got to understand it from the components that they deal with it on.
Yeah, I have enough problems in the hood knocking niggas out.
Well,
I ain't got time
no,
to
man,
be chasing niggas and putting them in jail.
Okay, so why would you spend a lot
I'm
of
talking about
time
when I'm
doing
younger.
that?
I'm talking about when I'm a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
younger.
yeah. Okay,
When you're a
okay.
lot younger, you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
into
yeah,
a
yeah. I
lot of
get it.
you got into a
Okay.
lot of fights. So
Well,
now
just
I'm gonna
think
become.
about it if
So
you
hold
would
on,
have took that opportunity.
hold on. Check. Hold on. So now that I'm gonna become older, after I done fought my friends and become good friends with them, and these my good people, my girlfriends, my guy friends, my mom, my everybody, my family, my community. I done earned my way in the community. Now I'm gonna become a cop and go ahead and start arresting all them. I don't
Well,
think so.
they said a detective. A detective don't do
A
too much
detective is a
arresting.
cop. What? I mean, a pig. I'm sorry, a
Well,
stinking pig,
well,
right?
see,
I'm gonna
I
become
get
part of
it.
the white system to hurt my own people.
Well,
I don't think
somebody,
so.
let me tell you something.
You can
This is
tell me
just
everything in the world, but you can't
this
get
is
me to
just
cross that
conjecture.
line.
I'm not trying to get you to cross any line. It's just from an observation. This is just me, and not talking about you. We don't want to go over and cross over, because why? We are afraid of what someone gonna say. But to order, and this is just conjecture from what I see, in order to understand how this system works, you have to have people in the inside in order to get it and understand it. It's not so much that you're a sellout.
Absolutely.
See, they put that in your mind. See, that's what I keep saying. This system is, y'all got to give them their credit, because they did an excellent job on us, confusing us. It's not so much you're getting in there to do their work. It's you getting in there to dismantle it. It's like the spook that's set by the fucking door. You know what I'm saying? If I have to make any kind of similarity contrast with, he wasn't a slave to beat up on his kids. I mean, beat up on other slaves. No, he had to learn what they was doing and how they was doing it in order to dismantle the system. This is what I'm saying. And this has been black people's problem. They call a smart guy, when I was growing up, a nerd. What is a nerd? Someone that took the necessary time to say, I don't like what you're doing, so I'm going to try something different. They call us nerds, or them nerds. Why? What is that? It's a word. But that word nerd came with a lot of stigma when I
It
was
has
growing
a
up.
negative connotation. It has a negative connotation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know how many people that held back their potential from being the greatest thing they can be? Just imagine. Some of them probably in prison, and I know are dead right now.
Jojo, let me
Just
piggyback
because.
on that for 1 second. Let me piggyback on that, because that's a big thing. And you think about even relationships, and I'm gonna go to the black communities really quick. And it's not just the black thing, but even when it comes down to relationships and helpmates and spouses and stuff like that, because of that title, because of that label, those people are often shunned, right?
Mm-hmm.
you rather have the street person versus that nerd, the nerd that took the time to go against the grain, the nerd that took the time to go against the norm, the nerd that chose not to conform. The conforming a lot of times for us is doing the wrong thing. This nerd is the person that chose not to do that. He took the time to do that S word that you mentioned, study, so that he would understand certain things. And in our community, that's like it's almost like a curse to call somebody a nerd. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think that thing we definitely have to get out of, because those are the people that are carrying us right now. Those are the people that try to get in certain positions and affect change. But
you don't have to think it. You know it. You don't have to think that. You know that now. You don't have to think it. Doc,
absolutely.
You know it now. I mean, you speak that and you say it and you mean it with all compassion. You don't have to think that. You know it. You know that now. And it's shown every day. But see, that's what I mean by when I go back to saying they did an excellent job on us. Because what's popular to us, they look at that shit and say, oh, yeah, we give them, that's like a watermelon day for us. Go down there at the end of the river and, have your watermelon, but be your ass back over here. But people are mad at the house nigga because he was sitting in there, the ones that was doing the right thing. Like, again, it goes back to what I'm saying. It's many a call feel chosen. When you just made that example. And it always come back. I don't have to say anything. You made an example of it just, probably a couple of segments ago. I don't have to do it because it's already there. It's there. But it's not popular culture within our people. So who am I going to give a credit to? Y'all say, oh, you giving them too much credit. Well, who am I going to give a credit to? Who do you go to a job for? You don't go to a job for no spook, no Negro. If you want to really get some capital gain, you're not going to no job asking no Negro to give you a job. Let's tell the truth here, people. See, we don't like our feelings hurt. But see, we need our feelings hurt. Because if our feelings get hurt, that's when we can understand where the pain is really coming from. But we don't like that. We like to point the finger. We like to point the finger because that's the easy thing to do. That's why we've been in this mess of a situation.
You sound like what you're saying. You sound, if I'm not mistaken, sound like you're saying we're a bunch of tattletales.
I won't call
when you're pointing the finger.
I call us a bunch of losers. I've already said that on many platforms.
No, I'm gonna say we're a bunch of tattletales. Look at YouTube.
Hey, that goes along with the territory. Losers.
If ever you need an example, look at YouTube.
I say, hey, that goes with the territory, Doc. K-Row, that goes with the territory. I say we're a bunch of losers because if you tattletelling, you're a loser. Because that's the same thing we run around the hood and say, oh, I ain't gonna be no snitch. I ain't gonna be no snitch. No, you ain't gonna be no snitch to your partner, but let them folks get you in their face. Well, let's see when the rubber meets the road, sir. We're gonna see what kind of snitch you are. Stop playing with me. But we'll beat on our chest and say, oh, I'll whoop your ass, whoop his ass. We the baddest person in the hood. But let one dominant society person come in front of your face and say, look, boy, sit down. This, that, and the other. Oh, I can be good. What you want to know, boss? What you want to know, boss? That part.
That's true.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
But I would have to, relate it to a distribution of wealth. I mean, the distribution of wealth is unequal. How it's spread it out in America. We don't get our fair share, as one may say.
Well, that's the functional sense. That's the functional sense that you're dealing with. But you got to ask yourself, why? See, it all derives on that one word, why? But see, we'll go around here. You seen it. If you on these YouTube streets, these guys beat on their chest and say they the baddest thing in the hood. You let one scrawny ass white boy walk up to them with a badge on their chest. I don't care if he's 110 pounds soaking wet. What you need, sir? Sir, this, sir, that. But on the streets, you the biggest, baddest thing on the street. Oh, I'm gonna come beat your ass. I'm gonna kill you. Excuse me for cursing,
You all
Kayla.
right?
I'm gonna come kill you. I'm gonna do this to you. No. We just actors. We pretenders. This is what we do. And they taught us this. This is how they keep their slaves in order. Truth be told. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's in your face. Damn, you're looking at it every day for entertainment. They control nine areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. They dominate those areas of people activity. But don't nobody want to hear how they do it. They dominate that and they show it to you on a daily basis.
Well,
Oh, we
you know,
need
I
the
could tell,
laws changed. How you gonna change the law? You ain't got the muscle. You
I
can't
could tell you how
galvanize
they do.
enough together with your own people because we have separated you. We have separated you. You Negroes can't even come together for a family picnic without getting into a fight with one another. Are you kidding me? On changing some
Yeah,
major laws in this country?
it's bad.
Negro, get together and say hello to your long distance cousin without arguing with him before you come talking about changing my laws. Get out of
Jesus.
here. Stop playing with me.
Y'all,
That's the brutal
listen.
truth.
I gotta pause this. Oh, I gotta pause this. Okay, because I gotta go see a man about a horse.
That's the brutal truth, man. You know, we don't like to tell this shit to each other because it hurts our
Yeah,
feelings.
James. Listen, I definitely we gotta finish this. We gotta finish this and definitely make it a full blown think tank. When do y'all want to finish
Absolutely. Oh, you got to put it together because I've been on hold for what, 4 months, 6 months now?
this? There you go, living in the past.
You know,
You
I ain't
living in the
gonna, I ain't gonna let you get away with it, Karo.
you living in the
But put it
past.
together. You know I'm good.
I'm with
I'm
you,
ready,
Dot,
man.
and whatever you decide.
And James,
Okay,
yeah,
so
man, you got to come back, man, and let's put this shit together, man, because we
I'm
losing.
gonna tell you guys, like, in all honesty, I appreciate both of y'all for coming on here and coming on here as grown darn men. I so appreciate that. This some king stuff right here. So I appreciate y'all.
You're
Um,
welcome.
Absolutely,
and this is how stuff starts, having conversations. We don't have
absolutely,
to agree on everything, but this is showing people that we can respectfully disagree. And this is what it's about.
absolutely.
This is
Eh,
exactly what
Don't
it's
hey
about.
don't ride that horse too long.
Man, you know, it's a tough thing. That's a tough thing.
Be another guy. It'd be another goddamn 3 months.
Mm-mm-mm.
I
Let me
got to go
stop
see these
tripping, man.
people about these chandeliers and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. That's better. That's better than
Mm-mm.
shit.
Oh gosh, I do appreciate y'all. I promise, I appreciate y'all. Y'all know
Well,
I
thanks for
don't
having me. Thanks for
do the
having me.
panel
Thanks for
stuff,
having me.
but
Yeah.
when it comes to this stuff, I'm all for it. Like, because if there's anything that we can do, even if if you only affect one, you've done
Each
your
one
job.
teach one. Each one teach one.
Right. So I enjoyed this. James, good
Yes.
luck to you. And if I can offer any assistance to you with your 501c3, let me know. And if you want to try to do a little plug or something the next time, definitely you are more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, I'll be traveling through, I'll be passing through Carolina probably in the next 30 days, headed south,
What
to
the hell
push
is
it
going on?
because
Can y'all hear me?
I
Yeah,
want
we hear
my
you.
corporation to be around African Americans that's thriving towards that same goal. I want to be in that same area.
Okay. So what we'll do whenever you guys come back on, I want you to talk about what you got going on so because this is all about building.
Pushing in the future.
Yeah. I think we lost JoJo. We lost JoJo. But I thank both of you guys for coming on. That was definitely a blessing. It was a blessing to me. I hope it was a blessing to everybody else that was able to hear what you guys were saying. And we most definitely will do this again. Hopefully I can get you guys back next week, because I know towards the weekend, YouTube kind of tied up. So hopefully we can do something next week.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get my butt on off here. I appreciate it.
Have a good night and good luck on your horse.
I am done. A hot mess, I tell you, a hot mess. Look, for everybody that is on here, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, and shout out to James, shout out to JoJo. I don't know what happened to him on here, but we lost him. But shout out to the men for coming on here. James showing his face on there. We get to put a face with the boys. Hey,
I get a little closer.
Look at him over there on handsome. Y'all, all right, women, y'all see who James is now. I'm just saying. Chandeliers.
Oh my.
But I appreciate you. Shout out to the certified DIAM. Shout out to the subscribers. Everybody that tuned in. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, share. James, you have a blessed night.
All right, you too.
Blessed night. Everyone else have a blessed night. And if y'all don't do anything else, I need y'all to remember something. Mind your business.
Ain't that the truth?
All right. Have a good night, y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.